So football is the answer to world peace. Okay.
I'm over here crying, watching these World Cup videos. Because lately, all we've been seeing before this happened, all we've been seeing is just like hate, greed, evil.
The World Cup has made me incredibly emotional, and I think it's made a lot of Americans incredibly emotional. I mean, World Cup is emotional for everybody who gets...
Like, all it took was for some Europeans to come to the US, bro. To see all these beautiful countries come to the USA and then make videos. And
one of the funniest parts of the World Cup is watching Americans and non-American fans meet each other and immediately be like, "You're pretty awesome." And somewhere in the US federal government,
So Americans say they didn't know the World Cup could be the answer for world peace. They never knew, and they think it should be, because from everything that is happening, the Iran war, Israel, aliens, it's like negative things, racism, everything that they hear from their country. All of a sudden, World Cup came and people are just happy connecting with each other from different countries. They just don't understand, and they are surprised seeing something like that. And they wish football, the way it is big, or they've realized that football is big, it could be the answer to world peace. I don't want to talk much. Don't forget to like, don't forget to subscribe. You don't lose anything by liking. Let's go into the video, watch, come back and talk.
So football is the answer to world peace. Okay, I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming, but I'm here for it. Whatever gets the job done. I know I'm not the only one watching the World Cup and thinking, oh, so we're all fine with each other. It's not a problem. The Scots in Boston have done a better cultural exchange than any kind of ambassador I've ever seen worldwide. I'm pretty sure that South Korea and Mexico are about to get like best friends forever tattoos. We have just seen more accomplished than any state dinner, parade, New Deal. The Buc-ee's brisket sandwich has done more than any politician could ever dream of. So I vote that globally all of our funds go into football until all of our differences are resolved. Oh, and by the way, US, we are calling it football now. We have lost that fight. Give it up. American football has to get renamed. I don't care what, call it concussion ball. But for the love of the universe, we're joining the rest of the world on the football train. Look, I've never been a sports ball person, but I will be a football person if that means that the entire world is gonna treat other nations like a giant summer camp. I think if we vote out some politicians and if we have 2 more World Cups just like this one, like I think we're gonna be okay. Like, here's an idea. We take part of our military budget just to make traffic cones for the Scots when they come to visit. The Scots got our police to chill out. We gotta get them back. I'm sorry, am I feeling hope? Is that what this emotion is? It's weird and tingly and stuff. It's like emotional pop rocks. Like, let's not even wait for the politicians. Can we just do a pass the hat situation? Like, we'll fund it. Football for peace, let's go.
The World Cup has made me incredibly emotional, and I think it's made a lot of Americans incredibly emotional. I mean, World Cup is emotional for everybody who gets the privilege of like experiencing it. Like, it's so cool. I mean, it's just like cultures come, it's like world peace. Like, it's literally so much more than a game, and it's insane and so beautiful. And I do not blame the rest of the world for the perception they have of American people and America as a whole, but I cannot express how healing it has been for me, I'll say for me, to witness other cultures come in and see like, wow, Americans aren't their government. Like, they're actually annoyingly friendly. Like, we're absurdly friendly. And like, to see, I'm in Kansas City, to see people in Lawrence, Kansas, become best friends with Algerians whose culture couldn't be more different than ours. And like being at FanFest last night and them playing like line dancing music and Argentinians being like, what the heck is this? And it's just been so beautiful. And also, I think this is a very like American centric take, so please note that, but it's not common for Americans to travel outside of the country. I think mainly because our country is so big that like it's insane to try to even travel our own country. So whereas for like Europeans, you can hop on a train, be in Prague, you know, it's so different. And so Americans don't really get to experience a lot of other cultures. And so for us to have the privilege and honor of like all of these lovely cultures coming in and get to experience them firsthand, it's been so beautiful. And the cultural exchange of it all, Like, it runs deep. Like, Americans, when we were 6 years old, we were put in like assembly lines where we would literally pledge our allegiance to a flag and be told America's the best country and every other country sucks and actually it's kind of scary and you're so lucky to be here and you never should leave and like you'd regret it if you leave. Like, we're brainwashed, right? So for Americans in these random ass places to be able to see these other countries and cultures, I think has just been, I don't know how to express how much I think our country needed it. And that's so selfish, but I really think we did. I'm really grateful for everyone coming in who has just been so gracious to us and wanting to get to know what Americans are like and vice versa. It literally feels like this picture. Like, I'm gonna go cry now.
Like, all it took was for some Europeans to come to the US, bro. To see all these beautiful countries come to the USA and then make videos and, yo, it's enough to make you cry. Oh my god, we needed this. We need y'all to come to the US more often. Like, if you could watch all these videos of all these people from different countries, like, talking about America and how great it is and how much they want to come back, bro, and if you don't cry, you weren't one of us.
I'm over here crying, watching these World Cup videos. Because lately, all we've been seeing before this happened, all we've been seeing is just like hate, greed, evil, wars, separation, power, the worst of the worst this year. And then I'm watching these videos. I'm gonna cry again of people coming into this country from all over the world. And if you haven't traveled, like, you haven't experienced those cultures, but like to have them all come here in swarms and we're all partying and dancing together and singing together and drinking together and everyone's enjoying each other's food and company and there's generosity and there's warmth and it's just so beautiful. And it's just such a reminder that not only exists in the world, but it can exist in abundance. And I just hope we remember that. And I hope we have company over more often. I saw a comment that was like, it was like when your cousins would come over that you love, but you would never get to see them because your parents hate each other. It's like that. And you're all just having a blast. I think we're on a new timeline, people. I sure hope so.
One of the funniest parts of the World Cup is watching Americans and non-American fans meet each other and immediately be like, you're pretty awesome. And somewhere in the US federal government, I just know there's a guy in a dark room with a cigar or something going, shit. They're not supposed to like each other. They're not supposed to realize that they're humans because their whole system, their whole ideology relies on Americans being afraid of the rest of the world. Just afraid in general, really. Foreigners are dangerous. Cities are dangerous. Crowds are dangerous. Joy is suspicious. Strangers are threats. And then 4,000 Scottish people show up, befriend half of Boston, and do more for international relations than the State Department has managed in years. Deeply inconvenient for the authoritarian movement. Highly convenient for the rest of us.
And maybe what this world really needed was the World Cup to happen, because I'm here in Houston. I have friends in Atlanta, and everybody is just mixing and mingling, and like all of the nations are coming together. Everybody's getting along. Everybody's having a good ass time. But maybe if you go over there on Asian TikTok and see how the Asians is living it up over there in Guadalajara, Mexico. I'm talking about the Mexicans and the Koreans is like this, okay? Maybe over there. And I'm just like, my little heart is so happy and is smiling because this is the world that we knew we lived in. All of this fear mongering and all of these things on the news and all of that. At the end of the day, there are people, there are citizens. And like everybody is just really enjoying everybody else's company. The English people and the European people are over here in Texas having a good ass motherfucking time at Buc-ee's and Shake Shack and all of the things. And y'all gonna see why a European size 4 and an American size 4 is different. You ain't gonna go back to European size 4. Y'all keep fucking around with this food over here. But that's beside the point. Everybody is just having a good time, and I'm just so happy I could cry.
Is anyone else just feeling warm and fuzzy watching all of the World Cup videos that are currently all over social media? I'm not talking about the actual football. That's boring. And I do mean football, as America is starting to learn. They have been brainwashed. The rest of the world calls it football, and yet pick up and run with the ball, as I like to call it, is not football. I've just been loving watching oh my god, but like all of it, it's like world peace is happening, and it's happening through football. Americans are seeing other cultures and embracing them. And it's so nice to see America embracing other cultures and, you know, inviting other cultures in, because the last sort of year has just been like ice, baby, you know, like you shouldn't, if you are not white, and say y'all, you're not welcome, is how it feels watching it as a foreigner. It's been lovely watching people from other countries embrace American culture. Like, I finally think we're going to get ranch in the UK. I mean, I currently do get ranch in the UK. If you're someone who's been to America and discovered ranch for the first time, get yourself a Costco card. They sell ranch dressing in Costco, which we do have in the UK. Just watching all the fans come together. I mean, I'm particularly proud of the Scottish fans, not just because they drank bars dry and behaved and cleaned up after themselves, but just how well behaved they are. I'm waiting to hear how it's gone in Texas. I know obviously England won, but I'm just hoping in the UK, if we win or lose, sometimes we set things on fire. I'm hoping that didn't happen in Texas. I know there was a kickoff because they'd like drank $5,000 worth of alcohol and the police wanted them to leave, but like they were just getting started. I don't understand why nobody told America to like stock up on alcohol. I'm particularly loving the Aussie chants. People are loving football chants. Americans are learning that their football chants are just shit. You know, Team USA is not, you know, like go America, go. Like, no. What's the Aussie one that I love? Aussie boys are on a bender. Donald Trump is a sex offender. Different tune, but you know, you get the gist. The Japanese cleaning up after themselves. Just the love between teams, the support for Palestine, just all of it. It's just so heartwarming. And at the moment, this is my current situation. If it doesn't get better by tomorrow, I'm going to have to go and get it x-rayed, but it's been 2 days of me not being able to put weight on my foot. I just don't want to sit in A&E for hours. So at the moment, I'm literally just scrolling my phone, and I am loving, I'm loving how much the Americans are learning as well. And I don't mean that in a patronizing way, but you guys aren't always, and I say collectively because there are quite a lot of you that are really good, but collectively you've not been so open to other cultures. And I'm just loving that you're witnessing it because it's there, because it's happening right in front of you and you have no choice but to pay attention. You're learning so much, and I think it's great. And I like also how after such bad press for the last couple of years with all the shit that's going down in America, that you guys are having some happiness as well. I just think it's lovely. And who knew that football could bring about a little bit of world peace.
As an American who recently moved back to the US after living in different European countries for 10 years, can I just say that this World Cup content is honestly healing me. It's healing Americans and it's healing the world. Like, you've seen the content with Mexico hosting the Koreans and just all the love that they're getting, but I'm specifically talking about the US because the US, I think, has gotten such bad media around hosting the World Cup, and fair enough, the fanfare could be better. And they're also talking about how the hotels haven't sold out, not many fans from around the world are coming to support their teams, but the content that I'm seeing, there are thousands of fans from different countries coming and taking over these US cities. It is honestly so heartwarming to see. Have you guys seen the Kansas content? Like Kansas hosting the Algeria team? It makes me so emotional because The US gets such a bad rap, and yes, there are reasons for bad stereotypes in the US, like in the South, people are more racist. But then you see the content about Kansas hosting the Algeria team and them being so supportive and bringing their families to the practices, and it's just a reminder that there are good people. There are open-minded, kind-hearted, welcoming people who want to embrace these countries and their cultures, and they're so supportive. I think that there's been like a shift this past weekend with World Cup starting, and maybe it's just because I'm in New York City and the Knicks just won, and the vibes here are immaculate. People are literally like levitating today. I honestly feel like sports is healing the world right now. We need to be seeing more of this content. We need to be talking about it more, sharing it more. It's just so inspiring, and honestly, I feel healed.
Listen, if you're not watching the World Cup, you don't have to, because the greatest thing in the history of the world happened the other day when Spain played Cape Verde. Do you know where Cape Verde is? Hell no, you don't. Nobody does. Nobody on earth, not even the players probably know where it is. But it's a little teeny African islands or something or whatever. Never been to the World Cup before. Never played a game in the World Cup. And the hero of the game is the 40-year-old goalkeeper. The 40-year-old goalkeeper who plays second division somewhere in Europe. It didn't turn pro till he was 25. Shut out Spain. Spain is worth $1 billion. Their roster is worth over $1 billion. Cape Verde is probably like $900. 0-0 at the end. They had 28 shots on goal. They scored 0. He was the man of the game, and he's 40 years old. And it even gets crazier because his mother wasn't able to attend because she couldn't get the visa and the money, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess what? Word spread. The internet went bananas, and now she's going to be at the game in Miami on Sunday because the U.S. government took care of her visas and paid for everything to get her over here. And he, the goalie, went from 45,000 Instagram followers during that game till 72 hours later, he's got over 12 million. He was crying after the game because his mother wasn't there and his grandparents passed away, the people that raised him, and they couldn't see him play. But let me tell you what, buddy, I saw you play, and it has inspired me to remember that you're never too old to be great. And I love it. Cape Verde all the way.
I have never been a fan of football, but I'm literally crying, scrolling for my For You page with so much love in my heart. Just seeing the worlds and countries interact and they're not at war, like they're literally just dancing with each other. I'm starting to love football, and I'm also starting to watch the edits of like people getting the ball into like the things. They're like proper good. Like I never realized these players were actually good. When I was junior, never thought that guy was good. He's actually like really good. Like he'll do like the whole things. Like I never looked at football like the way I'm looking at football right now, and you guys actually have a point. I love it.
Y'all, let me tell y'all something. I have never in the entirety of my life been more invested in a storyline than the World Cup being in America right now. Do you hear me? The World Cup being in America right now is giving me everything it needs to give. I am enjoying them discovering America, essentially, at this point. People from all over the world here a lot for the first time, seeing all the things, eating all the things, meeting all the people. Americans, I'm investing in us learning more about football than we ever have before. We in it. We is in this. And if you are not invested in this storyline, then what the hell are you doing? Because baby, they getting down. They don't play. You hear me?
How's a worldwide soccer tournament in the United States done more for foreign relations than the United Nations? I mean, watch it. They're dancing in the streets. They're singing Country Road by John Denver. They're playing bagpipes at Fenway. They're eating barbecue. They're going to the Grand Canyon. They're praising America. Unity. Community. We need to break bread at the same table without politics being somewhere in the middle. We need to embrace humanity when we can.
This is part 5 of my series as someone who doesn't watch any sports, but who's watched every match of the World Cup and has many, many thoughts. Something I love during the match is when the players have to raise their hands to get the ref's attention. It's so polite and sweet. There is so much joy on that field, both during and after the games. Like during the games, the celebrations, I love them. After Croatia scored a goal, somebody literally leapt over his head. It was like he was on a trampoline. It was so cool. And I feel like after each goal, people get more hype and more crazy. One moment they're like slapping each other's backs, then they're hugging, and they're kissing and picking each other up. Computer? It must be intoxicating scoring a goal. Honestly, when I see them celebrate, it makes me want to score a goal. I want to do regular stuff and just have people hype me up and celebrate like I scored a goal. It'd be so wonderful. But what I love more than the goal celebrations is after the matches when everyone shakes hands. Oh, it's so sweet. It's so wholesome. Do other sports do this? I feel like this should be a thing all sports do. I fall for every fall. Every time they get back up and they seem fine, I feel bamboozled. And a lot of the time, it looks like such a subtle tap, but there must be so much force behind it because they are kind of in pain. And I see everyone in my comments saying, this game used to be so much more violent. Well, it's already violent enough for me. I actually need them to soften it more. They're not wearing any padding. They're practically naked. It makes me so anxious. I was sick after that Qatar-Canada game. I knew it was bad when those players started walking around with their hands on their heads. Obviously, I felt really terrible for the player that got hurt, but I got really emotional seeing the other player that hurt him. He looked like he felt so bad. But when Canada's player, number 17, walked up to the Qatar player and hugged him and comforted him, I was sobbing. I was sobbing like I was watching a K-drama. First year so far of the World Cup. I finally get to have predictions for Group A and Group B. For South Africa versus South Korea, I think South Korea is going to win. I just think Mexico's footwork was a little better than South Africa's footwork. Like them passing it to each other and keeping it on their end. But the footwork between Mexico and South Korea seems very evenly matched. Honestly, I think the only reason that Mexico won is because that South Korean goalkeeper made such a big mistake. I just wish he stayed in his little area. That's something else I'm fascinated by with the World Cup. It's like sometimes a team could be better than you or you could be evenly matched. But one thing goes off, right? Like the vibe is off, or the crowd is off, or just the energy changes, or someone just makes a really dumb mistake and that's it. The game is over. You lost. I think Mexico will beat Czech. I don't know a lot about Czech and how well they play or don't play, but I just know in this group, they are not good at passing the ball to each other or keeping the ball on their side. Now for Group B, I think between Qatar and Bosnia will win. I really do like number 5 on Bosnia. I like how he talks with the refs. Very dad, mature energy. But he's got a swagger too. I also have a soft spot for the goalkeeper in Qatar. Looks like a puppy. And I think his whole team is failing him. He keeps getting injured. I always see the doctors come out for him. I don't think Qatar is doing so well. I don't know if in the past they've done well, but it's like Switzerland played a better game, but Qatar just got by. And obviously with Canada, they only had 9 players or something. I actually think Bosnia is also really good. In that Switzerland-Bosnia game, they really held Switzerland off. And then 10 minutes, 20 minutes at the end, all of a sudden, Switzerland scores a bunch of goals. And I don't know what changed. It was magic. Something shifted. But I don't know if they're necessarily that much more skilled than Bosnia. And then between Canada and Switzerland, they feel really evenly matched. Maybe a tie? I'm leaning a little more towards Switzerland, but I don't know. They were both really good at passing the ball and being quick, I think. There were 2 more bicycle kicks and they were glorious. Switzerland almost had an awesome bicycle kick goal, number 11, I think, but he didn't do it. Mexico, number 4, he kicked the ball backwards. That was awesome.
I told myself I'm not watching soccer. I'm American. Football is the real football. Then the World Cup happened this year. 5 reasons we need to start teaching our kids soccer. Now. Number 1, do you understand how much soccer players get paid? Do you understand how much money they make? Cristiano Ronaldo, who is the Tom Brady, the LeBron James of soccer, is worth 800 Goodwills. Cristiano Ronaldo probably got Lamborghinis made out of teeth. Soccer is a world sport. That means world money. That means global banks show interest in that player, bruh. If number one ain't enough for you, turn my video off and stop it right now. They getting money. Number two, soccer seem a little bit more safer than any other sport. Now, I've seen the YouTube videos where somebody get kicked right in the mouth, where somebody get elbowed right in the throat. Even the referee got stole on one time. But nah, it ain't dangerous hockey and football. I mean, it ain't head-on collisions every single play. I would much rather my child come home and tell me, Daddy, I got kicked in my shin or bumped, than him to come tell me I got my helmet knocked off my coach. Go back in the game. What's a concussion? If we really care about the safety of our youth, we gonna start looking into this soccer thing, bruh. Straight up. Number three, the World Cup runs Earth when it's World Cup time. I cannot go anywhere, no store, no restaurant, even my pastor in church. Better go! Cause I go to a Mexican church sometimes. Going crazy over the World Cup. My mama don't watch no sport, but my mama can tell you who Michael Jordan is. She can tell you what Wayne Gretzky played, and she can tell you why Bo Jackson is probably bow-legged. This lady was hard down emotional. Tears in her eyes. Had a rosary in her hand. Baby, Mexico just beat Germany. Mom, why you got a rosary? You not Catholic. My baby, Mexico just beat Germany, baby. Soccer making my mama from the South act like that and stuff. Percy Emery, come on, baby. We going to the soccer field. Andale, mijo. Andale. Number four, do y'all see the female fans in soccer? I don't know if the organization of soccer pay these women to come in, but the women I've seen in the stands, listen, all y'all can put me on child support. 1, 2, and 3. I'm going to be late on 4 and 5, but for 1, 2, and 3, I'm going to be at your window hating on every boyfriend in your house. Forget cheerleaders, forget pom-pom girls. I'm talking about the regular fan. I'm talking about the regular woman that just bought an $80 ticket with a beer in her hand in the stand. I thought soccer moms was fine. Skip the soccer, but the fans. The fans. And number 5, you can start your child professionally playing soccer at 14 years old. Dawg, you mean to tell me I don't been working 14 hard years of my life? I've been trying to get this boy in the NFL when he's 22. Hopefully he get past college with a concussion. I'm trying to get Preston to have a jump shot. If he don't have a jump shot, hopefully he can kick real high so he can make it MMA at 21. You mean to tell me I can put him in soccer at 15 and he can take care of me at a young 35? I ain't trying to exploit my children. I'm not saying that kids should be forced to do things against their will. I seen what happened to Macaulay Culkin. I noticed how old the Olsen twins look in the face at 30 years old. But what I am saying is, my kids are going to learn to kick a ball, block a ball, dive for a ball, and slide. Go! We will become a soccer family soon. In America. Y'all mean to tell me y'all missed the entire World Cup? Like the whole thing. Everybody out there down the street partying. My homeboy Jose, he going crazy because Mexico won, but I ain't got nobody to cheer for. I'm over here stuck in the middle. Go, who the team that threw up Wakanda? I'm going for them. Whoever threw up Wakanda, that's who I'm going for. America, come on, man.
I've never seen a stadium in America like that.
Yeah.
I've never seen Bob Bradley sitting there, Alexi Lalas almost in tears. I've never seen Mo Adu jumping in. I've never seen that because there's never been a situation for that to happen. It's kind of nice when you get to see things in life for the very first time.
And in the broader sense, when was the last time, if ever, that a home country has been up 3-0 at the half of their first game of a World Cup? That is just phenomenal. And for this country in particular, where like we have to draw people in with momentum. Here, by the way, you saying before, yes, you had said in a previous pod, like they needed a big win. And I was like, I don't know. The most important thing in a World Cup is like, just don't fuck up the first game. Just don't lose, blah, 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 blah. And I stand by that to a degree. But also, you were 100% right. The momentum provided by a win is particularly for this country at this time, is indescribably valuable. And to get it the way they did, like, chalk one up for Rebecca Lowe. Like, good Lord, unbelievable.
Remember the other day when you were happy? I mean, you were happy the other day when I said they were a dark horse. You were like delighted the other day when I said that, let alone, imagine if I told you they were going to win like that.
Yeah.
There have been a lot of people this week, and I'm sure you've consumed, I'm sure many of our viewers and listeners have consumed a huge amount of social media this week based around this World Cup. There has been a lot of content of big names, big people in our industry, big sort of known faces in football, talking down about the US, saying they haven't got a chance, really, saying
Gary Lineker, go on.
No, I lots of different people.
But especially Gary Lineker.
Has he? What did he say?
He was like, I'm going to do a very bad Gary Lineker impression, but like, I'm in New York and Americans come up to me and they ask, how can we do in the World Cup? And they said, can we win it? And I'm like, no, of course you can't. Like, Gary Lineker was very, not inappropriately and not unintelligently, like very dismissive of
because I think most people would say they can't win it, but
that's why we play the games.
And as Flo Balogun said after the game tonight, as Poch says, why not us? But my point is, I do think, and I said it in the last pod, people have made fun of down the years. Not anymore. Not after that. There will be no fun made of. There will just be fun. Are you at Geo yet? Can we get to Geo?
How far back do we have to go on Geo to really like set the table for people on this? What this Geo goal
I think
meant?
you should give some context, because I have to say, let me just quickly tell you, take you into the mind of a presenter, okay, where your brain has to work very, very quickly.
Sure.
He scored, Gio Reyna scored, we know, with the outside of his boot right at the end of the game to make it 4-1. What an absolute beauty. I think the first thing I said was, that is why he's in the squad. 100%. That is why, because not many players can score with the outside of their boot at the World Cup. But for a quick flash of a second, I thought to myself, because you don't get a lot of time on TV. I get 10 or 15 seconds before I have to go to somebody or go to a graphic or go to something. And I was thinking, how am I going to explain the Gio Reyna story in 15 seconds?
Yeah.
How am I going to do it? I thought, no, I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it. Going to hint at it. People can use Google.
If Donald Trump had his way, the United States wouldn't have just broken a nearly century-old American record at the World Cup. See, it began in 2001, when a Nigerian couple living in London chose to vacation in New York City. And they were expecting a child, but she was only 7 months pregnant, so they thought they could get back home in time. But when they got to the airport, they refused to let her board because she was too far along, so they stayed. And she gave birth to her son in Brooklyn. And thanks to a few simple words in the 14th Amendment, all persons born in the United States, even though the couple was from London, the child was born a citizen. Her name is Florence Balogun. Her husband is Ben Balogun, and their son is Folarin Balogun. Balogun then grew up in London and learned to play soccer in English leagues. But then, after developing into one of the best in the world, he faced a choice. In choosing a national team for the 2026 World Cup, does he choose Nigeria, England, or the United States? And he chose the United States, a decision he was only able to make because Balogun is a birthright citizen. And now, thanks to Balogun's extraordinary talents and the rights he was afforded by the 14th Amendment, he scored 2 goals in the opening match for the United States in the World Cup, becoming the first American man to score 2 goals in the same World Cup match since 1930. In the process, contributing to a 4-1 victory that was the most goals any men's team has scored in the World Cup in a single match in American history. But Donald Trump doesn't want him, because if Donald Trump's executive order had been in effect when Balogun's parents visited New York, he would have been shipped back to England or worse the moment his mother was released from the hospital. As hostile, mediocre conservatives sneer, "No anchor babies on my watch," as they shake their pale, withering fists in the air at the departing plane. And it's not just Balogun. Right now, 6 players on the men's national team were born outside of the United States, and more than half of the roster has dual citizenship. The fact is, this team is as spectacular and as diverse as the nation itself. And it's not just the American team either. France's Kylian Mbappe is the son of immigrants from Cameroon and Algeria. Morocco reached the 2022 World Cup with 14 of 26 players born in another country. And in 2026, nearly a quarter of all active players on World Cup rosters are representing a nation other than the one in which they were born, a number that in the 2006 tournament was less than 9%. This is because soccer, its players, and its fans, it sees past us. It sees through us. For one simple reason. Unlike virtually every other sport, soccer costs next to nothing to play. That's it. Just a ball. And any ball will do. And if you can't find a ball, that's fine. Just knot up an old sweatshirt or a bunch of socks or rags. Find a flat spot of dirt. Make a goal out of sticks, rocks, or trees. And then just play. We don't need money or equipment. We just need each other. The one sport that above and beyond all others sees neither skin color nor religion nor sexual identity, that harbors no respect for wealth or geography, that unifies across physical and socioeconomic borders better than food or religion, has given the world a reason to celebrate together, has given us a chance to lead ourselves through each other at a moment when, unlike any time in the past 80 years, those tasked with leading the free world have used every other lever of power to divide us. This is why I've grown to love soccer. Maybe you think it's too slow with too much running and not enough scoring, and that's fine. But here's what soccer is telling you right now, whether you're watching or not. The values that have brought people together for centuries, the values that have inspired the best of us to fight for the worst off among us as we perpetually struggle to build a better version of the world we envision for ourselves, the values that tell us money isn't everything, and that diversity is not just a foundational asset in soccer but in humanity, the values that are proving themselves right now unimpeachable in cities across North America, those values are under attack right now by Donald Trump and the people who support him. And we must defend them. When he had a choice, Fowler and Balogun chose us. The question for us is if this country still chooses people like him. I know I do. Do you?
This is what I don't think a lot of Americans understand. Every single game this World Cup will be the equivalent of a Super Bowl for 6 billion people in the world.
The Brazilian national team had like a fire truck and a priest blessing the water of the plane they were flying at.
Are you serious? No way.
At the air, did you see that?
No, I didn't. That's insane.
I mean, it's like this is life or death for a lot of countries.
You know why the rest of the world thinks America is actually a POS place to be? It's because so many of you talk about politics. Like, there's also a really good percentage of you that know that that's not it. So let me get into this. I made a video where I went to Sonic and I capitalized the word ice because I was talking about the Sonic ice. It's amazing. And so many of you, anyway. But then so many of the comments are like, we don't capitalize ice here. Don't talk about that. Like, this is a weird time in America. Do you understand that that's what the media wants you to be talking about? That's what the rest of the world sees about you. That's not you. And if I'm talking to you Americans, that's not you. You are not your politics. And what's so saucy about this World Cup is the number of people that are coming in from around the world that are getting a view on the American culture at the real human level and seeing that you American people are more than your politics and views on that kind of stuff. But you hamper yourself when you talk about it. When something as small as the capitalization of the word ice, and you know exactly what I'm talking about in the video, be you. You don't need to be talking about politics all the time. Like, you may feel strongly about it. That does not need to be, have the conversations you want to have. Sorry. You have those conversations you want to have, but do those controversial conversations, you don't need to have those online. Have them with your friends, the people that you see and face to face, instead of putting them online. So now you have a video with 1,500 comments, 1 million views, and 62% of those comments are people referencing ICE in it, or the politics of America, so that now everyone else from outside the country that sees that video, and that's who the video is aimed at, and they see all these comments and they think, oh, like, that's what America is. It's about politics and ICE. You do it to yourself. And I hope that this is a moment for you to realize that you don't need to talk about these politics and these factors. Like, they are important. Feel however you want to feel about it. I'm not going to argue with you about them, right? However you feel, I don't care. But just know that you are making America look terrible to the rest of the world. You're part of that. So you decide if you want to do that, do that. If you don't want to do that, and you want to show the world the real American people, then stay away from it.
No, seriously, this thing really makes sense a lot. Because listen, with everything that we've been hearing in the news about US fighting this, doing that, racism here, someone has been unalived by police, a whole lot of things. And it seems like the US doesn't like a lot of countries. A lot of countries too don't like the US and all that. All of a sudden, World Cup came, and the unity, the love that they are seeing, and the joy, everybody, people from different countries just enjoying themselves in the United States, and their police too are like comporting themselves. You are not seeing someone has been shot here, someone has been, like, nothing of that sort. It's so beautiful, and they wish World Cup could be used to just bring the world together. It's so beautiful, and this is something that I think many US citizens didn't know, as they are even expressing it on the internet. And listen, World Cup is very big. Even what is happening in the US, if you are an American listening to me right now, what is happening in the US right now, let me tell you, this is not the numbers that you should even be expecting when it comes to this World Cup. When it comes to World Cup, the number of people that actually go into setting, like, the host countries They are a lot. People that were or decided to come to America, trust me, America has blocked a lot of people. They never allowed a lot of people to enter the US. They did not allow a lot of people to enter the US. So the impact that you are even seeing is just a tip of the iceberg. People go to World Cup, and at first it was being hosted by just one country. So imagine 32 countries in the US, but now you guys are hosting it with Mexico and Canada. So the numbers has actually been splitted. But trust me, if it was then when the whole 32 teams or countries are coming into the US, that would have been crazy. I'm telling you. If you are an American citizen and you are watching this or you are listening to me, the impact you are seeing is very, very minimal. I'm telling you. So World Cup is very huge, and the unity and the love that you guys are talking about, yes, it is something that can be achieved through football. Thank you so much for watching.